All right, guys, welcome. I'm going to take a couple minutes here and show you a couple service offerings that you should be selling. I've been talking about selling. I've been talking about the different steps in the sales process, but it's just as critical to know what you're selling as it is to go and talk. That's the only way you're going to make sense anyway. So I hope that you already have some clients and that you're already working these things through, but maybe this will bring clarity to that, and maybe this will give you a great idea of where to start. Now, I sell three different types of service, generally considering, say, Facebook, right, on a single platform. So let's do a general contractor, okay? A lot of y'all have different types of clients, and I will break this down. If you ask me, hey, break it down for this industry, break it down for that industry, let me know, and I'll break that down for you. So say we're going to talk Facebook here, right? I'm going to break that down into content, and so that gets broken down here, and then I'm going to call this social currency. And then we're going to break this down, and I'm going to call this ads. And that's critical to know exactly what you're selling whenever you say, I'm going to do Facebook for somebody. Okay, we're going to do content. So like with our service, we do 1 to 2. Let's keep this at 1 photo post day. Now, this photo post is, for that photo, we're actually hiring our photographer in, right? So it's a photographer package. And what that's saying, and that's backwards, but you get it. So what that's saying is that we're going to come in, and we're going to say, come in once every 3 months. We're going to do a 3-month contract here. 3-month contract. And what that's going to do, that's going to say that we can actually pay the photographer to come in and take pictures. We can take the time to crop and edit and put together social media posts based upon the content. What I always say is, the content that we're putting out here is branded specifically for you. It's pictures of you, of your office. In this case, it's pictures of houses they have built, showing their exact craftsmanship. Maybe we're highlighting pictures of their specialty, right? If it's in exteriors or something like that. Now, we want to take and make this informational as much as possible. So it's going to be a photo, but then the actual scripting, right? So we'll go script. We're going to take content that they either write in such like a blog or something like that, where they're writing about a topic in that industry and something that they want to educate people on. So we want this script that goes on that picture to be educational, we want it to be engaging, and we want it to be entertaining, right? So you're going to hold their focus. Say this is a general contractor, and he's talking about building a custom home. Well, you could educate their client on, or their potential client, on what they need to consider when buying a home or building a home, okay? So maybe it would be the type of exterior, and that having to do with the foundation, right? So you would say, okay, we're going to cut an article, and we're going to talk about maybe a brick ledge or stone ledge, something like that to do with building a custom exterior. And so we're going to have that writing there that either that contractor, so our customers wrote themselves, or an article they found and gave to us and said, hey, these articles here go along with what we're wanting to present. And it's your job to tell them, hey, we want some articles on this, we want some articles on this, we want some articles on this, based upon who you say that you serve. That way we can break it down into 5 words, a little educational piece, and then a photo that relates to it, right? Finished product is what you want on the photo, and then maybe the caption talks about, educates on how they get there. Now, what this will do is that will draw people, it will entertain them enough to read, it will educate them on the process, and it will inspire them to take action, to learn more, do more based upon their learning there. So what that will do is that will actually draw them to the Facebook page, okay? Now, these posts also go here, right? And what we do in social currency, there's your education, is we take and we share that on related pages. So there might be a page on custom home ideas, or a group rather, I'm sorry. Or maybe there's forums elsewhere. And we want to brand the client, who's going to be branded right here. We want to brand them as being an expert on that topic so that people look to them, right? That's what's going to build their audience, and that's what's going to build their rapport within their audience, because it's people looking for ideas for custom homes, looking for help, looking for information. And whenever we can provide the type of scenario where our client is becoming the help or the education source, then they're primed to provide the service or the solution, right? So that goes to a particular audience, and then that gets our likes up, right? That gets our page likes, that gets our page following, and that boosts. So what we do is we'll do one post, and we'll take it, and then we'll share it to several pages there. And so it's all personal branding, and then it's personal content, and then that goes, and we actually drive a lot of the social currency around it to drive our client's social currency. And then there's the whole ad part, right? So now that we've got a stream of all these posts on their page, somebody could come through, and they could read them all, because it's educational, it's entertaining, it's engaging. And so I'm reading here, and by the time I read all the way up and down your post, guess what? I just got educated on a variety of topics about building a custom home, and now I'm like, man, this guy not only knows a lot, but he's teaching me a lot. Maybe I should call him and ask him for a bid. Maybe I should call him and ask him for whatever, right? And that's if the call to action is there. The call to action's on the Facebook page. It's not on these posts. These posts are not ads. They're educational and inspirational, engaging posts to get us into the page and to get us educated on the process. That's the value. This is all about giving their client base value. And then the ad would look something like this. It would be a post. It would be an educational script, maybe about some of the things that you need to think about when building a custom home. And then it would be a picture, the dream home, right? Something like that. Now, that's an educational piece, not an ad, but it's stuck in front of people because that we can push that audience out, right? It's stuck in front of people who are looking to build a custom home. So now we're educating and we're scaling the direction of that ad to go in front of our selected audience, right? We determined, okay, you need to have this kind of an asset range. You need to be looking to build, looking to move. You need to be interested in new home ideas, right? So you need to be looking in this area. So we've decided that we can scale and push that out in front of their target audience. Now we're really pushing their brand, right? Because it's going to have their name over here. And whenever people read it and say, hey, that's exactly the question I had. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to look, and then they get here and they read all this, right? And they're like, okay, I'm going to call them and get their opinion on my situation as well. So whenever you're doing all this, this is the kind of thinking. I talk about doing 2 different meetings. You go meeting 1 and you find out what that potential customer is doing. Maybe they say, maybe they say, we do custom homes, builds, right? Okay, and then we do like 4 spec houses a year. Oh my goodness, I can't spell. Houses a year. And we want to try to sell those. And then we also have a couple lots for sale. So 2 in prime location. I'm saying this because a client actually gave me this situation. All right, so how are we going to price this out? How are we going to tell him what he needs? And then how do we know how much to charge him? So based upon this, whenever I see a custom build, we're going to educate people on custom home building. I'm seeing all of this. That's basically what I drew out here, right? So we've got our content and social currency. This comes together in one package, right? That's all in the posting. And so we're going to charge what? How do you know what to charge? Well, I know what it costs my business to charge, right? So here, we're going to charge, let's say, I think if you hit retortal at something like 200, and it's just this, and it's not custom, it's very bad, right? Once again, I said a 3-month contract, so I know that we're going to have to drive around and take a lot of professional photos here. So I'm going to say, let's do $450 a month, right? So content, $450, and then ads is, if you got somebody like Growth Geeks to do it, which you shouldn't do. If you're going to outsource, you need to outsource to somebody in this business who's good, who you can talk to, who understands what you're doing. I would recommend that you outsource if you're just getting started, if you don't have a lot of experience, because you don't want your customer to have to learn on their dime, right? You want to get around it and be an experience in with that before you just jump in there and be like, yeah, I'm charging you and I'm trying to figure this out at the same time. There's going to be a certain amount of that going on no matter where you're at, but have somebody walk through it. That's one thing that you need to be able to do is you need to be able to watch whoever you're outsourcing it to. You need to be able to get in there and watch how the ads are going, what's happening with them. And so the ads there, we're going to say that you should charge retail. Let's say 300. Okay. Now, that's for the custom build. Now we got 4 houses that we're going to sell, and so we're going to say we're always going to have 2 houses up for sale. We're not going to need social currency part, but we are going to need to come up with the content for the ad and drive it to people looking to buy homes in that range, right? So that's another 300 for each campaign there, because you got to follow each campaign. So really, that's times 2. So that's going to be 600, right? Because whenever you run that ad, you're not just going to run an ad, put it out once and be done with it. Every 2 days or 3 days, you've got to go in and you've got to rebuild that. You've got to be running split tests. You've got to see what's hitting, what's creating results. Because whenever this is for a house for sale, you're going to have a call here button. And then that's going to have to drive, to a phone number that calls them and says, hey, I want to look at your house. What's more information? Get more information on the house. Something like that. And so that's what you want. You want that a direct call to action. Get in touch with the person directly. You're going to have 2 of those going on at the same time. Maybe they're in different areas. Maybe they're different price ranges. So you're nailing it 2 different people. So there's that. Now, what about the 2 lots for sale? Say we can know we got at least one of them for sale at all times. That's another ad. That's $300. Now, that kind of seems like a lot, right? But whenever we're talking with these people in these 4 spec houses he has for sale a year is $1.5 million on average. And this guy, right? He's going to pay $90,000 to a realtor to sell each one of those. So that's 90,000 times 4. It's 40 less than 400,000, right? So that's $360,000 he pays every year $360K. He pays every year just to sell these 4 houses. So this $600 right here a month times 12, 6 times 12 is 48. So he's going to pay $4,800 to me to sell those houses. That's nothing. Now, what you also have to remember in here, and don't cut this short, is ad budget. Your ad budget matters a lot. So he's actually going to pay me this, but I'm going to say you need to be spending $500 for something high value like this. Let's spend $500 per campaign. So this is plus 500, right? 500. Oh, I'm sorry, that's content. All right, it's going to be plus 500, plus 1,000 here because we're running 2 of those at the same time. Plus another 500 here. So 2, 4, that's $2,000 in ad budget that we're running. Okay. Now you might notice here that that's $1,000 a month. So he's going to pay another $12,000 to sell those houses. So that's really $16,800. So if I can sell all 4 of those houses for him, he paid $16,800 to sell them rather than paying $360,000. That is a huge value here, okay? And you add these other things in together. So we're saying that's $450 plus 300 is $750 plus what we do at 9 right here, and we say that's $2,650, right? 4. Hold on, that ain't right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that's $1,650 plus $2,000 for ad budget. That's $3,650 a month. Okay, so there we have it. We're going to charge this client $3,650 a month. Now, his profit whenever he builds a custom home, here we are, and I know that he's building several of those a year, and he's building them up to $5 million. Okay, his custom home builds, his profit on that is well above $100,000. Okay, it's actually closer to $1 million than it is $100,000. So let's say 500K, right? If I could help him get one of those, that's 500K. If I could sell all of these, that's 360K. And each lot, say he makes 100K. Now, in a year's time, if he does this, that's $900,000 that I brought him for spending $3,650 times 12. What is that? Somebody help me out. Okay, so he paid me $43,800. All right, to make $900,000. That's the power of a good plan, one that's well funded. You try to cut it short here because, man, that sounds like a lot. You don't have enough advertisement for yourself to actually make the money, and it's not worth anything to him because you didn't make it worth it. So putting together the right plan, charging him enough, which is $43,800 a year, to actually make this happen for him, made him $900,000. Now, in this particular case, this contractor told me, he said, look, I've got competition. I've been here for 20 years. I do it right. I've got a lot of rapport. I've got a lot of word of mouth. But I've got a guy that just came into town 5 years ago, and he's building the same value homes as I am, and he's building them everywhere. He ain't got the word of mouth. He ain't got the reputation. What's he got? And I pulled up his website, and he was spending $3,000 a month on AdWords, and I pulled up everything he had was top-notch. And then I pulled up my new client site, and he had 0. Hadn't updated his website in about 5 years, and everything that was there from 10 years ago. And he had no traffic, no exposure except what he already had. So it's a way to blow him up. This is what we put into effect. And I had to know, based on what he told me, how to put the package together. And so whenever you go back in there for that sell, that's where having the knowledge and having that push really comes in. So I recommend that you follow through. Maybe start with several of your own. Definitely, if you're not experienced in this, you've got to put together the right package. Several people in our mentorship has come and sold something. I'm like, how did you sell that? You can't sell that. There's no way that you can afford to do that unless you want to pay as much for their business to run as they're willing to pay for it, right? It all costs money. The exposure's there. And one other point to this is that what I sell them on is this. I'm not selling them on their sales. I'm not promising him any result here. What I'm saying is this is what we'll do. Now, what's super special for this guy is he told me, he's like, look, I would have never thought this would work. That's why I've never done anything with it. But last month, my son had a house that he sold on Facebook. He was going to get a realtor, and he decided, you know what, I'm just going to see if any of my friends want to sell it. He put it on, and within a month, he sold his house for $1.5 million through Facebook and didn't pay a realtor. And he's like, if he can do that, then you can do that for me. I just don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to represent myself properly. So it's an easy sell, guys. It's a really easy sell if you got the proper plan put in place. You have to sell that value and be able to push the thing all the way through in order to do anything for him. So I hope that helps. If y'all need me to touch an industry specifically, send me an email or send me a Facebook note, and I will get on and I will address a specific industry to build a campaign for. Okay? I hope that helps, and we'll see you again next time.